This is Carlos Cousins, and the following letter narrative question is asking about a fact that happens here. We call this a hide and seek. They're asking you sort of what happens in the passage, what something reminds Simon of here in the passage, and they're not giving you a line number. So what you got to do is just try to remember where it happened. If you don't, go from the beginning and try to find these two items here: the square silver shoe buckle and the dragonfly. So the beginning, all we do is just talk about the setting, nothing much. Then we start introducing the man and the woman. We talk about a butterfly here, but not the dragonfly just yet. And then we reach the third paragraph here, where we start talking about Lily, how clearly I see the dragonfly and her shoe with a square silver buckle at the toe. So she's wearing square silver shoe buckles, and you can see a dragonfly circling around them. So let's go ahead and figure out exactly what's going on with this dragonfly. All the time I spoke, I saw her shoe, and when it moved impatiently, I knew without looking up what she was going to say. This is in the context of him begging her to marry him. So the movement of her shoe reminded him, or let him know whether or not she would agree to marry him, what she was going to say regarding whether or not she wanted to marry him. The whole of her seemed to be in her shoe. So her response was there. All my love, my desire were in the dragonfly. Okay, so now we're talking about the dragonfly. For some reason, I thought that if it settled there on that leaf, the broad one with a red flower in the middle of it, if a dragonfly settled on the leaf, she would say yes at once. So it looks like both the shoe and the dragonfly here, he's looking for meaning in. He's interpreting to say something regarding whether or not she's going to agree to marry him or not. So what do they remind him of? His proposal to Lily. Let's go ahead and figure out which of these answer choices best matches that. His proposal to his wife. Well, if you pick this one, you're very close. You might have messed up the names here, though. His wife's name is Eleanor. And we actually can tell because when he says, shouldn't be walking here with Eleanor, and then, it says the woman I might have married, you know that he didn't marry Lily. And then he's walking with Eleanor along with kids. You can tell, you can guess that these guys are married here. So it's on his proposal to his wife. Lily did not marry him. The vibrant flower bed of Kew Gardens. Well, it doesn't look like they're thinking about Kew Gardens. He's walking in Kew Gardens, thinking about some event in the past. So that's not what's happening here. It reminds him of whether or not, or of his proposal to Lily. His rejection by a woman he once loved. Okay, well, this one's a little bit tough. It does say the word rejection here. It's not just a proposal. But because later in the passage he says, might have married. Also, the fact that the dragonfly went round and round and never settled, where he said if the dragonfly settled on the leaf, she would say yes, which leads you then to imply that she didn't say yes. All of this points to the fact that he, was rejected by the woman. They didn't marry because she said no. So this looks like the right answer choice. Let's go ahead and consider the last. A past experience with Eleanor, the woman he is walking with. Well, no, she's not. Eleanor and Lily seem to be different people here. Remember, he refers to Lily as the woman I might have married, as though Eleanor didn't know who she was. He has to explain who Lily is. So that's not, short for Eleanor or anything like that. It's somebody else. I hope that helped with this problem, and happy prepping.